What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another YouTube video on my channel. Today we'll be going through my round 16 footy tips. Here we go, guys. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get stuck into it. And also, this is the last of the bye rounds of the 2025 Toyota AFL Premiership season. So finally, next week, all 18 teams are playing. We're back to 9 games. Here we go. Let's get stuck into it. Okay, the first game is between Port Adelaide and Carlton at the Adelaide Oval. Now, look, Port Adelaide, they're coming off a loss to Sydney, where they've lost to them for a long since like 2015. Their first loss against Sydney, and look, Carlton, look at the Blues. They're just really struggling, and I don't think they'll get the job done because look, Port Adelaide, they're wanting to like surge for the top 8. And look, the Blues, they should have beaten North Melbourne last week at the MCG, but they really stuffed that up really bad. So I'm going to say the power to get this done at the Adelaide Oval. So I'm going to say Port Adelaide to get this done by, let's go, 27 points. And the big call is Port Adelaide to win 3 of the 4 quarters. The next game is between Sydney and the Dogs at the SCG. Now, this is going to be a big game, and I would not be able to stream it as I have formal on that night. That's the SCG, and look, the Swans kind of struggling at the moment, but look, the Dogs are just red hot. I don't know who to tip. So that's the SCG, and yeah, look, so but I don't think I'll tip the Swans because look, the Dogs are a good side after they absolutely defeated Richmond a lot. And well, Sydney, look, they came off with an impressive win over Port at the Adelaide Oval last week to stay in touch with the finals. But against a really red hot Dog side, the Dogs should be too strong for the 6th soon as well. So I'm going to tip the Dogs to get this done by, let's go with 17 points, and the big call is the margin will not go over 30 points at any stage whatsoever. Alright, the next game is between Gold Coast and Melbourne at People First Stadium. Now, look, Gold Coast, they're obviously they're out of the top 8 for the first time because they lost multiple consecutive games in a row now. They've recently lost to GWS, which sent them out in the top 8 in the Expansion Cup. Now, look, Gold Coast now, I don't know about what to say about them, but I think they should be able to respond really quickly after losing. But Melbourne, they're coming off from a bye. Hopefully they can reunite and get the season back on track. So see if they can make the top 8 for the first in the 2025. So you never know, but I think the Suns should be too strong because they're People First area, and the Gold Coast usually play really well there. So I'm going to say the Gold Coast Suns to get this done by 31 points. And the big call here is Melbourne wins 2 of the 4 quarters. It's going to be a close one. The next game is between Hawthorn and North Melbourne at Utah Stadium. Now, both of these 2 teams are playing in Tasmania, but it's a Hawthorn home game. So, look, it's at Utah, so Hawthorn should be too strong. It's at Utah, and North Melbourne coming off a win against Carlton. Probably I think Hawthorn would be a little too strong for North Melbourne because look, the Roos look, they just really strong against a good side unless they can make a big miracle. So with no doubt, I'm going to go with the Hawks to get this done by. Let's go with, because look, Hawthorn, North Melbourne, Hawthorn down a really big hot form, so I'm going to say the Hawks to get this done by 78 points, and big call is the Wizard, Nick Watson, kicks at least 3 goals. The next game is between Collingwood and the West Coast Eagles at Marvel Stadium. Look, West Coast, they're shocking. They're rock bottom, looking for the 2nd win of the season, and Collingwood, they're sitting on first on the ladder. They should be too strong, but you never know. the Marvel Stadium, not the MCG. So I expect the Collingwood thrashing, and yeah, I'm gonna say that. Because look, West Coast coming off a bye. Let's see if they can get the season any better, not just losing all the games. So I'm gonna say the Pies will get this done by. Let's go. Let's go 75 points, and a big call. Jamie Elliott kicks at least 5 goals. The next game's between Richmond and Adelaide at the MCG. Now, this should be an easy tip for me because look, Adelaide, they're really strong at the moment. Coming off a bye, they should be able to like reunite and get their season back on track. And the Tigers, it's at the MCG. Even though it's at the MCG, I don't think they can beat against a strong Crows side, which they're really back on form. Their season doesn't get any harder than this. After this, they take on the Cats at GMHBA Stadium, which we should win, the Geelong Cats. And look, Richmond, coming up from an absolutely massive loss to the Dogs last week. I was streaming it, it was really boring. So this should be another flashing. I'm going to say the Crows to get this done by 63 points. And the big call is Keys kicks at least 3 goals. The final games between Fremantle and St Kilda at Optus Stadium. Oh dear, so Optus Stadium, Saints should be cooked once again. Probably they're coming off after a bye. And no, not after a bye. They were really gallant against the Pies at Marvel Stadium last week, but just couldn't get the job done because Collingwood top of the table. It's at Optus Stadium as well, so this is not gonna be easy for them. Well, you know what happened last time they met at Optus Stadium, Marvel Stadium. Sorry, these two teams. The Saints absolutely thumped the Dockers by 61 points. But I don't think this will change because it's at Optus Stadium and Fremantle play really well there. So, and they're a really strong finals contender here, the Dockers. So I'm going to say the Dockers to get this done. For you to get this done, let's go by I'm going to say the Dockers to get this done by 34 points, and the big call is the Dockers will lead by 40 points or more in one stage of the game. There you go, guys. That's going to be my footy tips for round 16. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. And thanks for everyone who tuned in all into my YouTube videos, live streams, and etc. And I hope to film more and release more to come, alright? Thank you all for watching. See you again in another video or a live stream.